Hey guys, Tyre up here, bringing you a 2v2 today. We're on Elst Outskirts. Today spawning in the north, we have Fried Chicken playing as Soviets, who has airborne troops, mechanized support and guard motor. Teaming up with him, Siva as US forces, going for a Pathfinder airborne company build. From the south, we have KIROV as OKW straight away, locking into Overwatch, and Nima also as OKW, who has elite armored, fortifications, and Luftwaffe ground forces. There's rankings here. Allies are random team. Fried Chicken round rank 150, Siva in the top 10. Against an arranged team for the Axis around rank 70. The first squad of conscripts heading straight for the building. These two buildings always very important on this map. It looks like KIROV winning the race to this one. The echelon not immediately coming across. Do have a Kuba wagon up though, so if the re-echelon did try and wire off that door, it could just get crushed by the Kuba anyway. I don't know if tank traps can block off doors. Test that. I don't think so, but maybe. Jumps a more long-range squad into the building. Fried Chicken doing his best, trying to hold out over here. Jump in the fresh squad. See Nima quite far away from the entry to the door, so can't jump in. It looks like these guys are actually doing pretty well against the building. So KIROV jumps out, just trying to stall from that position now. Early tech truck out here for Nima. I'm wondering if this is for like a 2-2-1 perhaps. Has only gone for 2 folks, along with the Kubel. Pathfinders, meanwhile for Siva. I think, you know, the Kubel's probably a decent option against Pathfinders. I believe the DPS on the Scope Grands is worse than the DPS of the Paratrooper Carbines, so maybe the DPS is not quite as good against the Kubel because of that. Either way though, getting overwhelmed here by the Pathfinders. Pretty good handling of the troops by Siva so far. All the time the combat engineers for Fried Chicken deep in enemy territory doing a bunch of capping. Don't quite manage to complete the munis though with the Sternpos arriving. Foxgreed is up, capping in the north. Leaving early. Probably would have left that squad behind to heal up, but not a huge deal. Be a Fried Chicken going, you know, like one squad down. Most other players would an extra squad of conscripts or combat engineers at this stage, so could struggle a little bit in terms of field presence. We're freshly repaired up, but everything camped behind this heavy cover here. And look at the amount of damage the Kubel takes. Pretty good counter to the Kubel, you know, just blobbing up, overwhelming it. On Pathfinder though, on the retreat. Gets away pretty cleanly, so do the re-echelon. Kubel's going to continue though, go for the decap. Pretty good territory control at the moment for the Axis. Has to give up on the decap though, chased away by the captain with the bar. The rear arm of the Kubel causes it to go down very quickly to that barred up captain. Fried Chicken coming in here for a cheeky cut-off play, even though the battle group is set up over here. Still going to be able to get the cut-off on the northern resource points. So he's going to push up there with the flamethrower as well, and then another cut-off down here. So good cut-off play from Fried Chicken. Making the most of slightly lower troops on the field. Didn't quite coordinate this the best though. Conscripts arriving quite a lot earlier than the flamethrower squad. So they end up taking a lot of damage. Should, of course, win the engagement still, but there was a chance that the conscripts might have to retreat here and wouldn't be available to cap up the map. It's probably worth waiting a touch longer there, but otherwise pretty good.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Tier 2 is up for Fried Chicken as well, building a ZIS at this relatively early stage. Don't have any light vehicles out yet, well, apart from these Kugels. But, you know, if you're building some guards, that's all you need really to deal with the Kugel. Don't need a ZIS. But maybe he's planning to use the ZIS mainly for barrages on the machine guns. Just about to hit the 2 command point mark for Fried Chicken now. And come the guards. Can't merge into the combat engineers with the conscripts. And they're a little bit low in health now. Have to get out of there. So at the moment, Axis looking quite strong for territory control. Siva really locked off the point. But he's about to strike back. He's got a airdrop 50 cal coming through. Anti-air half-track about to hit the field. Oof, and there we go. Nice long-range shot in there. Takes down one of the Kugels. Suppression from the machine gun. Okay, moved it away from this position, and with good results. There go the conscripts. And Nima looking to roll this into a really fast second truck. But yeah, so far, very strong fuel control overall for the Axis, I'd say. Head in that department. Really need this anti-air half-track to do a lot of work. KIROV hasn't got any Raketin himself though, so he doesn't have an answer to this. So he's probably about to lose a boatload of territory control. And there goes the Kugel of KIROV as well. Doesn't even have the manpower to start a Kugel at this stage. Looks like he was also trying to get a super fast second tech truck out.
Under attack! Contact! Contact! Crew, ready!
And there we go. A lot of retreats forced. Definitely though, Siva a little bit late on that anti-air half-track. Didn't see exactly what caused that, whether it was from low fuel or slightly mistimed, but still getting some nice results. KIROV has popped the Shrek upgrade on the stern pose and got the Raketin in the build now. Fried Chicken Euro going with the slightly slower start. One squad down in the early game. Trying to wait for his 2 command point power spike, but because he didn't have that many troops, the second command point a little bit slower coming through. Timing though, catching that machine gun out of position. I'm very surprised Nima didn't go for any Fallschirmjäger. It's going straight into the tech here. There's a lot of manpower floating, and Fried Chicken probably about to gain a boatload of territory. Thanks to Nima floating so much. With the heavy mortar coming through as well, that could actually maybe punish these 4 trucks as well. That's jumping behind the cover. Oh, Raketin actually knocks out the cover. Comes this barrage. It's not quite Vet 1 yet, so don't have that firing positions mode. And getting overwhelmed. 3 on 1 in the center. Maybe KIROV looking for the cutoff. Send a grenade out. Good timing on the retreat there for Fried Chicken. But question is, what's he going to spend his next bit of manpower on? Is it going to be tier 3 tech? Is it going to be another squad of infantry?
The sector is at risk.
This is a big timing for Fried Chicken. I'd say it's probably a little bit late for the T-70 at this stage, so probably not that option. Well, Nima airdropping in the Fallschirmjäger behind enemy lines. Doesn't go too well for them, but yeah, that was super late. He's had Fallschirmjäger available for ages now. Could have had those out 3 minutes ago, probably. Perhaps even more. See, I don't really like that, going for all these tech upgrades and then going for Fallschirmjäger after. But oh well, Axis are suffering quite badly now in terms of territory control. Both of them trying to go for these fast tech strategies. It's left them quite exposed to the light vehicle and the superior infantry at the moment of the Allies. Okay, a couple of Faust coming through. We're Kitten trying to chase this down. There's a little bit of road there. Oh boy, but there's some bad pathing blocks as he squeezes through that gate. Attack round's too far away. Barrage clearing off the machine gun in the centre. Flak base covering the cutoff, so Captain has to get out of there. Double AT guns very early here for Siva. He's got a second 50 cal as well, so Siva must be doing really well in terms of KD. He's barely taking any losses. I suppose all round losses are quite low for this point in the game though. Is going to lose control of the north once again. Heavy mortars pushed up a bit. Looks like it's going to come in and assist down the bottom perhaps. Okay, there we go, sprinting around the sides with the Jaeger lights, catching the machine gun slightly out of position. So take them off hold fire. Issue I have sometimes with oh wow, they went back into camo. Stormtroopers, you know, you have them in camouflage, activate the tactical advance to try and get the wipe, and then I forget to take them off hold fire. So as soon as you order them to start running towards the enemy, they stop shooting. Happened to me a couple of times. Up here with the flamer, but outnumbered 3-on-1. Doesn't look good for Fried Chicken. And has to give up the fight. Axis also with a stronghold down the south, but a big old flank coming for Siva. Wrapping around the side. Machine gun on machine gun action. Here come the Pathfinders. He's got the AA half-track over here as well, looking for some suppression. Incendiary grenade out. Moves back into the negative cover over here. It's quite punishing. Kitten connecting once. Oh, there we go. Heavy mortar landing hard. Did even get the wipe? Ooh, that was a very close call. Still holding on to the fuel point though. Axis with the double fuel at the moment. Guards going into firing positions against the Fallschirmjäger. Okay, here comes Fried Chicken to the north once again. We got some ace mines up here though. Ooh, running over a lot of them. He's only got one combat engineer. He's got the flamer, so no sweepers. We have to train up another combat engineer to try and counter that. A little bit short on fuel for a tank. So it does have a little bit of time, a little bit of manpower to work with. Really needed to be merging into those combat engineers with a flamer there. Come the guards though. There's enough firepower to win this. Could be a grenade into the retreat situation here, but not going for it. Missed opportunity there for Fried Chicken. Did have the munitions, so probably should have gone for it there. It was a prime opportunity. You know, if you're not confident on whether you'll time it correctly, you know, you got to get the practice in, get the reps in. Cuss a grenade in, guards jumping out. It looks like the bunker shutting down the fuel cap in the north, so Fried Chicken just can't break through up there. Look at this. This is a lightning fast Panther. 16 minutes and it's in production. KIROV looks like he's going straight for a King Tiger with a mechanized truck coming up. Or maybe it's going to be a walking Stuka. Be a good option against the preemptive anti-tank guns of Siva. You know, he's pretty heavily invested in those team weapons. Double machine gun, double AT gun. Maybe a walking Stuka could be a good option for KIROV here. Especially if KIROV manages to knock out this anti-air half-track before the medium tanks arrive from the allies. Should be alright in the anti-tank department with one Rakit and one Shrek against a medium tank. This coming around to kill off that bunker up there in the north now. Allies have fallen behind on the VPs as well as the fuel. Looks like that heavy cover. Oh, well, safe from this one, but not from this one. So there we go. Takes care of that, opens up the fuel in the north. Panther coming in, just going straight forwards, straight for the anti-air half-track. No snares for Siva, so can't do anything to stop this. Got the marked vehicle active, the double AT guns ripping in. Big damage in there, the guards from the side with the button. The Panther's gonna go down here. Unreal. Brings in the smoke, but it's too late. Really need the smoke on the guards who are providing the button, not on the AT guns. Going to follow this up, maybe kill off the AT gun. Echelon going to get suppressed before they can jump on, it looks like. So maybe going to turn over that. Even the Ambo's in a compromised position. And he lost his 50 cal down here as well, so Siva really falling apart there. AT gun and 50 going down. Picked up by the Jaeger lights as well, so that's going to have a really long line of sight now. That stolen machine gun. Oh boy. Pathfinders go down for Siva in the bottom. And KIROV is going to get away with that anti-tank gun as well. So yeah, definitely could have gone for the walking Stuka, but probably isn't necessary anymore after knocking out so many of Siva's units. So King Tiger stall seems to be on for KIROV. Second Scott coming in now for Siva. Siva's really going to struggle for anti-tank when that King Tiger arrives, and it's not too far away in terms of fuel really. It's going to be so far away from the Jackson. Has built a second anti-tank gun, but it's not always that easy against the King Tiger. Such strong frontal armor. Still does have the Major though, and quite a few Pathfinders. In fact, it looks like he rebuilt a Pathfinder as well, so plenty of sight. Really helps against the King Tiger. Scott coming in close range here. Tricks are there though. This could be dangerous. The Faust's quite slow activating. Looks like that Scott's going to be relatively safe back there. ISG smoke coming in. Scott used the barrage there, with the OKW troops far away from it. We'll come in for some auto fire now. Here comes the T-3485. KIROV going to be under quite a lot of pressure. The anti-tank guns. Both of them off the field at the moment. So full retreat from KIROV down the bottom. Axis are gaining the fuel in the north though in the meantime. So not a huge loss. Still going to be a very fast KT. Oh, there goes the ISG. What was that doing in the middle? Very strange. The T-guns coming through, but that also way out of position. Fried Chicken picks up the ISG. Do have a mine, but he didn't like shift command a movement order away from the mine. This could backfire with the T-34 heading up here. He misses though with its shot on the move. Gives up. Too slow dodging away from the incendiary grenade. And now a Katyusha for Fried Chicken. So a lot of indirect fire all of a sudden between the mortar, the ISG and the Katyusha. Merging into the ISG as well, so he doesn't have to retreat it. That's a nice move. Compass coming in for Siva from the Major. A bit of coordination there from the allies. Lots of spotting. Katyusha though not getting the best shots. Pretty good dodging from KIROV down to the bottom. 0 kills, bad start for the Katyusha.
Alright, fellas. Field promotion just came through.
Scott's doing their work through the center. I think I heard the King Tiger. Yes, indeed. Here it comes. Oh, Volksgrenadiers go down the center. I think that was to the heavy mortar. Scott's shutting down the OKW advance. Conscripts winning in the north as well. Looking pretty good at the moment for the allies. Here come the AAT guns of Siva activating the AP rounds. Might not have enough to hold this position for long. Oh, Pathfinders go down and then full retreat from the other two squads. And even with the AP ammo equipped, he pinned 1 out of 6 shots there. So really bad start for Siva's anti-tank guns. Undeterred, those continuing to push forwards. AP ammo is worn off on them now though. So they have an even worse time. And this is a dangerous position for Siva, honestly. Pushing this far forwards with all those Pathfinders having retreated. Doesn't have enough support and it looks like he's going to lose yet another anti-tank gun. King Tiger coming back in. KIROV going to knock that out. So yeah, that was a bit reckless from Siva pushing up with those double anti-tank guns. You know, AP ammo had worn off. Didn't have enough support. Got punished hard for it. Okay, T-3485's over here though, getting through the armor. M1 continues to bounce. T-3485 running pretty good.
57mm AT gun now deployable by
Nima also going for a King Tiger? Maybe a rebuild on the Panther. Doesn't have the mechanized truck down yet. Yep, it's done that up now. King Tiger coming in here for a couple shots. Shot from the T-34. Has to get out of there now though, the Raketen. Bit scary. Oh, the Pathfinders though Wow. Those AT guns got decrewed in the blink of an eye. Jumping back on the Raketin. Can't recover the M1 though. King Tiger a little bit too low in health to really safely assist. Deciding to back away here. So in spite of the King Tiger bouncing so many shots, still hasn't done very much damage with it so far. And Fried Chicken holding on in the north as well. Ready 5 coming up for Fried Chicken. So this is his composition now. He's at his pop cap limit. So it probably would be ideal to go for one, you know, probably not have the infantry support gun, maybe have one extra combat engineer for better repairs and more mine planting. Not a huge deal. Okay, fighting position coming up with the 50 count.
We're losing a capture point. Our fighting position now has some
It's 25 now, coming up to meet the Panther.
Enemies are swarming one of our
Takes a Faust, but looks like it should be relatively safe. He's dropping the Sector Assault, but he doesn't have much to provide sight. Comes a Fox Grenadier now. Still pretty deep into Allied territory with this. King Tiger rolling forwards. 50 cal did get decrewed out the back. Oh, Scott, it did end up going down. I didn't see that. Must have been from the second plane. Looks like Fried Chicken disengaging. Did get the Panther very low up there, though. Looks like the machine gun going to shut down the Pathfinders. And KIROV going to recover the 50 count. Siva though, quick to rebuild the Scott. Looks like he did lose maybe another Pathfinder at some stage, back down to 2 again. Oh, there we go. MG goes down though. KIROV trying to hang in there, wanted to complete the capture, but ends up paying the price. So Siva's going to steal that one away. Back up to 2 machine guns again. So far the King Tiger positioning of KIROV just hasn't been that strong. Still only at 1 kill. Which is kind of unbelievable at this stage. It's had for so long. T-guns going for some tech rounds, I think. Incendiary grenade nearly takes down Fried Chicken's assist, not quite though. And here's the walking Stuka now for KIROV. So Fried Chicken trying to go for a quad for the anti-air, but can't fit it into his army. Range Caddy kind of into the base area, but again, doesn't look like it was super successful. Kills now though. And KIROV bleeding a lot of manpower with these kind of pushes. Double Scots going really strong. Jackson though getting quite low in health now, having to back off. Oh, there goes the captain, big shot. There we go from the King Tiger now, up to 9 kills. We've got the planes coming in for Nima down the bottom. This time more defensively placed though, so might not be quite so successful. Oh, the Panther down here as well, taking some big hits from Fried Chicken's tanks. They also have to get out of there, getting quite low themselves against the double Kittens. The King Tiger rolling forwards, doing a lot of damage. Jackson coming back in, partially repaired. There's a walking Stuka. He's off the machine gun. Jackson slightly out of range for more damage on the KT. Jumps out for some more repairs on it. G34 setting up though, holding on to the VP. Axis ticking under 400 here. And it looks like KIROV going to steal away one of these anti-tank guns. Helpful because he did lose that stolen M1 he had earlier. And now he's got one again. So some big losses there for Siva. Oh, and I didn't notice that this went down over here as well. Good team weapon losses for the Allies. Didn't quite manage to knock out that Panther either, but the SU-85 is vetting up very quickly. Already at vet 2. Oh, big grenades. Guards could go down. Yeah, the Fallschirmjäger staying at 3 models even at that low amount of health. Doing a lot of damage because of that. Fried Chicken did get enough PopCap room though for the quad to come out finally, and it looks like he's going to go for a second Katyusha. There are a boatload of Axis support weapons. Doesn't have the room for it in his army again though. I think Katyusha's 14. Once again, I think some mines would go a long way for Fried Chicken against the Panther. This could be the end of the T-34-85 now. Ooh, very lucky break one. The Raket's missing a shot. So it does get away. Maybe the Panther's going to come through for the finishing blow. T-85 facing the wrong direction at the moment. Spinning around. Here come the double Raketens. Oh, Fried Chicken in some big trouble. Panther misses the killing shot though, and decides to disengage right there. Katyusha's coming down. Decent connection. So lucky break there for Fried Chicken. 2 misses allow both of his tanks to survive. Otherwise he would have lost a crazy amount of metal there. It's like the Panther's coming in, hoping to catch a Katyusha perhaps. Gets cold feet though. And a vehicle crew repairs active now for Fried Chicken, so couldn't have come to the rescue with the SU-85 either. It was out of commission getting repaired up. But yeah, something you have to look out for, you know, as you start to lose a couple of squads that have snares. You don't have mines to make up for that. You can just get walked all over by these Axis vehicles. Stuka again. Actually got 0 kills it last time. I thought it cleared off the machine gun, but I guess I was wrong. 0 kills again though. Even water getting out of there in time. Jackson coming in from the side, hoping to find the King Tiger. Good fighting position. Shutting down these Axis movements. Got the Katyusha barrage coming in. A little bit of damage. Pretty good dodging from KIROV though. KIROV's got enough for another dose of planes, but that quad did reveal itself.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining
Here come the double Kittens now though. Tiger just about at vet 1. Once it gets that spearhead mode, we know it's tricky to deal with. Fried Chicken in some trouble. Oh, he's going to take an engine crit. That's big trouble. Sounds like Katyusha's barraging something that's not these double Kittens as well, so it's a dead T-34-85. Katyusha coming into the center. Wipes a stern poe. Actually getting some pretty good damage done. So losses on both sides. But yeah, this Panther continues to be a menace for Fried Chicken. Needs to get those mines up.
This is it.
Yeah, the craters are getting quite deep now. Axis in control of the VPs at the moment. Oh, combat engineers go down to the Fallschirmjäger. Maybe they were planting a mine there, but so vulnerable while they're doing that. Get 4 Fallschirmjäger now. Look at this. It's refusing to drop models. I think Fried Chicken was going for the merge there, trying to keep the Vet 3 squad on the field, but has to give up on that. They're dropping too quickly. Second Jackson out now for Fried Chicken. So a good amount of anti-tank for the Allies. Panther coming forwards again, but have to meet some stern resistance. In the marked vehicle. Double kids are back there though. We've got the planes coming in, the double planes from the Axis. There goes the Panther though, a lot of good connections from the Allies. A lot of planes to shoot down for that quad. Have his work cut out. The King Tiger rolling forwards behind the cover of these planes. Oh, there's U-85 coming back and nearly goes down. Actually, it is managed to get out of there. There are double kittens hunting and they could actually catch something here. The Jacksons decide to pack up at a good timing though. Oof. Oh boy, what happened? He accidentally retreated his Jackson vehicle crew. And the Rakitans are going to be able to finish off the decrewed Jackson. Oh, big mistake from Siva. Both the Katyushas on cooldown at the moment. Do you lose sight of this? No. There it goes. Now Siva does have P-47s finally. So he's switching over to paratroopers. They still have the Major and one squad of Pathfinders for sight, which is very important. Fallschirmjäger go down though for Nima. I don't know what happened there. Just a late retreat. So inviting... It was the airdrop. I thought it was the Vet 5 squad that died, but no, it's a fresh squad that got airdropped down there. Killed straight away. Machine gun survives. Looks like Allies gearing up for an attack through the centre. There's a lot of infantry here though for the Axis. No spearhead mode yet for the King Tiger though. S-35 blasting through the centre. Big damage from the Scots. Smoke out from the ISG. Blocking the damage. No, maybe not. S-35, good attack ground work through there. Bit of indirect fire there from the Allies, clearing off the centre. They don't have anything to cap with. Where are these conscripts? Here they come. Oh, here comes the vehicle crew as well. The Rakitans line up on the T-34, but going to be able to get away safely. Where's the Jackson going? It's coming through the centre. Well, the double Rakitans are right there. They retreat. And the Jackson can stick around and do some more damage to this King Tiger. Or bounce off the King Tiger, you know, also a possibility. 2 end up dying. This was the King Tiger. Sometimes reports weirdly. Ooh. Just call on those Paras. Oh, but Siva not retreating, goes down to the incendiary grenade that was still there. Fried Chicken doing his best in the north, but can't complete the decap up there either, so real stalemate on the VPs. Still so many VPs on both sides, 41 minutes into the game. Got a second walking Stuka out. Actually, Nima's gone for one. Didn't realise that. Double Scots. Vietnam nicely. This one up to 33 kills. They've been strong performers so far for Siva. Shusha's aiming for the double kittens. Quite finding them though. Got a long range barrage as well. Rocket's slow to arrive, easier to dodge. Gun crit on the T-34, but still going to win for the Northern Fuel. Fuel becoming less relevant. Fried Chicken himself doesn't really need it anymore. Nima, I suppose. And Siva do. Some vehicle damage done with the walking Stuka. Oh, catches the heavy mortar right on the end as well. Katyusha into the bread basket back here. A lot of retreated support weapons. Allies ticking under 200 now. They just can't cap that central VP, the Allies. Maybe don't quite have enough infantry, or maybe need to stagger them in waves a bit more. Like one squad waiting back here while one caps, and then once that gets blasted by indirect, you kind of bring them in one at a time. KT also shooting up in kills. Got to Vet 2 with 30 kills. So after a very slow start, it's starting to ramp up now. Oof. Damage from the Scott close range. King Tiger though, not going to allow these Pathfinders the stealth cap. Double Jackson's there, SU-85 as well. But the P-47's coming in for Siva. King Tiger maybe overstaying its welcome. Allies charging through the smoke. Looking for the kill on the KT. They need a bit more damage though. One more shot. Miss. Oh, the rockets finishing the job. Oh, but the SU-85 goes down in return. Axis also dropping in their double planes. It's just one SU-85 for the King Tiger though. It's a pretty good trade overall. One set of planes for two. I'll be relatively content with that trade. Neither of the Axis activated the anti-air on the Schwerpanzer headquarters either.
Ready for action.
Could have come back to bite them if this walking Stuka fired while those planes were still in the air. Oh boy, Katyusha went down out the back here. Oh no. I didn't notice that. Is that to a walking Stuka? So Fried Chicken's instantly replaced it though. Stuka, where's that going? Oh, catching the Scott vehicle crews and knocks out one of them altogether as well. Oh, devastating. How did he know? How did he know that they were repairing back there? What gave him sight? Wow, that was a monster walking Stuka from KIROV. Either way. Devastating for Siva. As I was saying, I think one of them was in the mid-30s for kills, the other one was Vet 2 as well, so those are some massive losses. There's still one available. It looks like the re-echelon are going to become the crew of that going forwards. Shusha not doing much here. Enforcing off the beacon back there.
Light gun carrier tank ready.
T34 on the north. This VP has been relatively open for a while, but Fried Chicken hasn't managed to get down here. Might be worth it at this stage though, just forgetting about the fuel a bit for Fried Chicken, just pushing onto the VP instead. Here comes the King Tiger for Nima. Fried Chicken hasn't rebuilt the SU-85 yet, so doesn't have a good answer to this. Went for a second T-34-85 instead. Come the double Jacksons though, but the Rakitans are right here, and there goes one Jackson in the blink of an eye. Vehicle active on the King Tiger, but not matter too much. Looks like the allies aren't going to chase. Fox go down and centre the Paras. Oh, but there goes the Scott for Siva. Double AT guns through the centre. A lot of losses there for the allies. Oh, the Jaeger lights went down as well though, I didn't notice that. So quite a few losses for the Axis also. T-gun decrewed, here comes a walking Stuka though of flames into the centre, trying to prevent the cap. Pathfinder's coming off to the side, but not going to be able to stay there for too much longer. Okay, Katyusha once again to the retreat point. Don't get hit too much though. And I think that was again like barrage, hoping to catch the Katyusha, but Fried Chicken wise to that. Gets out of there before the walking Stuka rockets connect, so doesn't end up losing that one. But the Axis just refused to drain on the VPs. Got a fresh King Tiger out for KIROV now as well, so double KTs. Will be a real headache for the allies. Fried Chicken doesn't have enough room in his army to build the SU-85 either. So, I don't know what his answer is going to be to this at the moment. Maybe he can decrew and steal away these Rakitans. No, they both survive. Close call though. Flame into the centre, trying to prevent the cap again. Oh, King Tiger stopping Fried Chicken on the VP also. Oh, now we've got a Panther joining him for KIROV as well. Coming in aggressively on the Jackson. We've got an AT gun there and a second Jackson now joining in. Sight is just very, very important for Siva at this stage. He's got these Pathfinders back here providing it. Now these Jacksons to be very effective. Attrition maybe coming in on the flank here though. Double Jackson's having to pull back to deal with the other King Tiger. Oh boy, nothing is connecting at the moment.
Allied AT gun has been destroyed.
King Tiger still very, very healthy because of that. Panther getting aggressive from the other side. Siva having to react. Dropping the planes in now, maybe hoping to catch this. Oh, the Pathfinders get spotted. They're down on retreat now. The Katyusha coming in on the Raketin. P-47's going for the KT. Good damage onto them as well. Sternfires go down on the north somehow. I wonder if they got hit by some friendly fire there. Good engine crit. Got the double Raketins there though, chasing past it. Having trouble getting onto the rear armor though with the double T-34s. Comes the Katyushas, Decro on one Raketin. King Tiger in some trouble now. T-34 just needs to continue on its path, but taking an engine crit now. Oh, the Jacksons come in, save the day. King Tiger goes down. Nima lost a Volksgrenadier as well. T-34-85 trying to limp home. It's on such a low amount of health. The clock has stopped though at the moment. The Allies finally be able to cap the VPs. There they go. Nexus, or Nima specifically, quite low on army size. Fried Chicken did lose 2 tanks, but, oh, 1 tank actually, but so many resources. Just rebuild straight away. So he's going to go for the Su-85. Triple Jacksons now for Siva as well. Maybe the Su-85 is actually the wrong call in this situation. Triple Jacksons probably enough. Busy on the Jackson in the centre at the moment. Here comes the third one. A lot of damage coming through, but Nima dropping in the planes. Chiken coming in from the rear on these Jacksons, and the Walking Stuka connecting as well. The T-34 is mobilizing. Carnage. Let's just regain northern VP and holding on to the center as well. Bit of sweeping here from Fried Chicken, spotting that mine. Looks like he will be able to cap up here now as well. Allies though getting low, getting dangerously low. He's attack ground again. And then the sweepers go, they try to sweep it and attack ground. Ends up backfiring horribly. Oh, big grenade. There goes the heavy mortar. ISG outright destroyed. Our Chicken could move slightly further up, avoid the suppression, but staying in there. Dropping a Molotov as well, not a bad idea. 5 coming through center, got the marked vehicle active as well. Oh. Fish Panther for Nima in the north now. Kitten finding 234 out the back. Looks like the Panther's going to go hunting for it. DC-85 though. Ram. Oh, and it pins as well. Engine crit on the Panther. Can the SU-85 finish the job? He doesn't have marked vehicle to provide sight, which would be huge, but here come the conscripts. Raketen finds the SU-85. We have another squad of conscripts. Looks like the Panther's going to be able to limp home safely, though. There was an opportunity there for Fried Chicken to finish it off, but plays it safe. Shooter into the center. Axis finally look like they're going to tick under 300 here. Nearly at the 1 hour mark now. Beacon interrupted. Katyusha barrage, trying to catch these guys retreating into it. Might work on these overs. Quite. Scatter's not really there. Double Jacksons from the side on the Panther. He's dropping in the P-47s as well. Wants to kill this Panther. Panther gets behind the blocker. Attack rounds miss. Planes target the KT instead of the Panther, so that's not going to finish it off. Drain is back on the Allies. Stuka. Paratroopers could be in some trouble here. Ooh, one squad down for Siva. A little bit slow on the dodge. Understandable. There's a lot going on at the moment. Katyusha also went down out the back for Fried Chicken. Okay, more mines coming up from Nima after the sweeping earlier. Rebuild on the Katyusha for Fried Chicken.
Enemy down to 100 points.
35 getting repaired up. Allies ticking under 100. Good angle for the SU-85 though. Bringing in the Katyusha, expecting the Raketen to be nearby, and it is. Not quite in Katyusha danger though. Oh boy, actually the rocket's scattering a little bit lower. Maybe that's the second Katyusha. And the Raketen gets destroyed. That was Vet 5. Big loss. So Fried Chicken's going to pick that up as well. Jackson's working well through the center for Siva. SU-85 coming up here. Pathfinder's trying to remain stealth, providing sight for these Jacksons against the KT long range. KT's armor running hot at the moment. Stuka. And the flames as well. Our troopers have to give up the cap. Chicken's SU-85 could come in from this angle, would be pretty successful. He'd leave himself a little bit exposed to a Panther flank though. Does have quite a lot of support for it. So I think it would be successful. Chicken trying to make a move on the north again. I think this is a good move from him. Continuing to pressure the north. Has been having occasional success up here. It seems like Siva is starting to make a bit of a breakthrough in the center as well, though. Next is having to take a backward step. Here comes a Jagdpanzer now from Nima. Unfortunately, the Raketen misses its shot on the Panther, so no engine crit on that anti-tank grenade. Now maybe the Allies can turn up the heat with the triple cap. One hour mark, still 300 points left for the Axis. So I'm not too concerned about this. It looks like indirect now hunting for these OKW trucks. This one's getting quite low.
Paratroopers ready.
doing their best up here, but outgunned by the Volksjäger and the MG34. Perhaps the Panther and Jagdpanzer. They're pretty fast repairing that up. With support of the Rakit, and still though. Misses on the Panther though. Come the triple Jacksons. Looks like they're going to finish the job on Nima's tech truck here. A lot of repairs coming in for KIROV, taking a massive backward step at the moment. Here comes the walking Stuka though. This could be nasty. Double Parrot just really clumps. Ooh, and they take a hammering. Looks like they're both going to survive though. Walking Stukas catch a Scott out the back there. That's how much damage they can do. Oh, and a re-echelon squad as well. Oh, maybe that was the Scott that was crewed by the re-echelon. That was actually what was happening there. T-34 for fried chicken. Can't fit it in his army though. But if he does lose a tank, it will instantly pop out. And the Axis reclaiming their ground after those losses from Siva. Chiken making a move in the north, going to clear off the machine gun up there. Here comes the Panther. Jagdpanzer combo again though. This time the Kitten's not there in support at the moment. The fried chicken, so not having as much luck. Oh boy, lucky break. Could have been a kill. Jackson goes down the center. Conscript Uraying in. No marked vehicle though for fried chicken. Oh, the flak base gonna deny the anti-tank grenade opportunity. The King Tiger's in some trouble though. Double Jackson's coming through. Faced in the wrong direction with the KT. Oh, he bounces. Still needs one more, or maybe even two more. Double Jackson switch their focus fire over to the Panther, and then miss another shot on that King Tiger. Horrible luck for Siva. And misses again on the King Tiger. Really paying the price for not activating the marked vehicle on that King Tiger earlier. It's going to limp home to safety. Jackson down. Nothing to show for it. Could even lose another Jackson here. Or maybe a Sherman, or maybe the SU-85. Big damage from the planes and the walking Stukas. Oh man, so lucky for the Axis. Was that like 2 bounces, 2 misses or something on the King Tiger for the killing shot? Oh, and now catching the T-34 back here using the vehicle crew repairs. SU-85 mobilizing, might be able to repair through the damage. SU-85 missing its shot though. Here comes the Jackson. Oh boy, if that SU-85 landed the first shot, that would have been a dead Jagdpanzer as well. Pathfinders go down here for Siva. That's a real shame. Those were providing some extremely valuable sight for the long-range Jackson attack. Looks like he's going to go for another Jackson. A little bit surprised he went for a Sherman instead of continuing with the Scots. Maybe he's worried about the infantry of KIROV. Wants a more direct solution to it in the form of the Sherman on HE. So there were a couple probes over here from KIROV, maybe hoping to decap on the left. Very low on points now for the Allies. Damage coming through. Incendiary rounds from the... Oh, we'll forget about that. Damaged engine on the Panther. Fried Chicken trying to finish it off here. Panthers armor holding up those Vet 2. It's got the skirts. Here goes the T-3485. Trying to jump on the VPs over here. Doesn't look like he's having much success. The Paras coming in. Looks like the flames start to wear off. King Tiger's there though. Where are the double Jacksons now? There's 2 of them. Second Panther in for KIROV as well. It's not looking good for the Allies all of a sudden. Big traffic jam in the center though. T-35 in some trouble, facing the wrong direction. Yak Panzer aggressive on the positioning, hoping to finish the job on that as well. Raketten's there though. Yak Panzer's hit Vet 2's got the health boost, so it won't go down. One further shot, good Katyusha out the back. Tiger rolling through the center. Wants to stop though. Sherman did end up going down as well, looks like to the Panthers. Man, this game's running so badly at the moment. No frame rate. In the toilet. I think this happens sometimes when, like, the physics gets weird. Starts running quite slowly. It hasn't been much of a factor since I upgraded my processor, but it's chugging on this one.
Ready for action.
Oh my god, catches a Katyusha out the back. That hadn't fired recently either, right? It was facing this direction, couldn't have fired, so it must have backed it over here. I don't know how the Axis are doing those walking Stukas out the back with nothing to provide sight. They haven't been using the smoke bomb planes to provide sight, as far as I can see. T-3485 having to get out of there. Fallschirmjäger shutting down the conscripts as well. Rebuild on Katyusha for Fried Chicken. Chicken losing the Raketen in the center. Double Jacksons though. There we go. This time the KT doesn't get so lucky. Oh, but where's this Katyusha going for Fried Chicken? Massively out of position. Could go down to the planes now. Oh boy, Panther gonna get out of there. I think the wreck blocking the side of some of these tank destroyers. Panther blitzing in. T-34 goes down to that. Oh, and the Panthers getting out of there pretty clean as well. Double Jackson's doing their best, but they've missed quite a lot of shots. Not having the best luck. Shushin to the center, provides 40 points left for the Allies. They need to stop this cap right now, but they're so low in army. Do have the cover here, which is helping them out against the Fallschirmjäger. Jagdpanzer coming through. If that takes an engine crit from this conscript though, that could be bad news, so Nima trying to get it out of there. Just making a dash for this VP, and it is actually open at the moment. The Allies making a strong charge through the center as the Axis have to repair up their tanks. Another walking Stuka with the flames trying to prevent the action. One Jackson goes down, even on the move at that range. The Jagdpanzer getting the kill there. That is good luck for Nima. Bad news for Siva. Conscripts try and finish the job with the anti-tank grenades, but they're not having much success. Bit of a shame that Jackson didn't chase there. One Jackson shot probably would have been the end. Now, Axis look like they're in control. Allies just not able to knock out these Axis vehicles. And losing their own armor. Nothing to provide sight at the moment for the Allies. They do manage to stop the clock down to 14 points. The double Fallschirmjäger looking scary. Oh, into the retreat point. Catching them a little bit back there. Secure mode, good idea. Rebuild on the Katyusha again. Did another Katyusha die?
Prepare for combat.
Vet 5 on this with only 12 kills, 4 vehicles destroyed. You don't see that too often.
Ready for action.
1 vehicle destroyed for KIROV. Fallschirmjäger dropped in again for Nima, just going for a full Fallschirmjäger build at this stage. They will, you know, if Allies to try to go for anti-tank guns down to these Axis tanks, the Fallschirmjäger will take those anti-tank guns down very quickly, as well as the walking Stukas. Catches the repairing tanks out the back. Rear echelon go down. So does one support weapon. And just getting pounded from multiple angles as the Allied tanks try and fight through the center. Catches the Scott out the back, was that? Ambo. Ambulance going down. So does some Fallschirmjäger. Shooting 5 as well for fried chicken.
We're down to 10 points.
Looks like the Allies are finally going to bite the dust here. Might be able to get them neutralized, but they just don't have enough to fight back with any. All these craters as well, very good for the Fallschirmjäger. Constantly have to cover. Well, in spite of what the VP score says, this was a very, very close game. I think, honestly, like the kills on the stuff out the back, I don't know how they were happening from the walking Stukas. It was on targets that, you know, maybe back there. I don't think there was anything providing sight. I can understand if the Katyusha stayed in place and then got barraged, but that time you could see it was facing this direction. There was nothing up here to barrage, so not sure how that was happening, but they made a big difference throughout the match. A few slight missed opportunities for the Allies. I think that Jackson could have chased in, was it on the Panther or maybe the Jagdpanzer in the north? Instead didn't. And it was like essentially one shot from death with the conscript anti-tank grenade that came through there. So that was a pretty big missed opportunity. But yeah, just that's how it goes sometimes, you know. The Jacksons just miss a few shots, bounce a few shots against the Axis armor, and then all of a sudden you're trading down, not getting the kills, and losing the game. GG though, a good hold by the Axis. Allies nearly getting it done there, but the Axis armor strong enough to win in the late game. I think a big issue for Siva as well. Late game, you know, the paratroopers were good for capping along with the beacons, but the sight was missing. You know, he was doing some really, really good work with the Pathfinders camoed like around here, allowing the Jacksons to just blast the tanks through the center. And once those Pathfinders went down, the Jacksons were so much less effective, didn't have the major for sight anymore either. I think that was a big drawback for the Allies overall. But GG, great game. Anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like good game, be cast by me. Details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye, and good luck.